As somebody who really wanted that 2012 Lego R2-D2 set, is this new one better?
This is a new 2021 LEGO Star Wars buildable R2-D2 set, which releases May 1st, 2021, celebrating 50 years of Lucasfilm, with 2,314 pieces and retailing for $200 in the United States. This was sent to me early by LEGO. Thank you, LEGO.
Of course, all opinions in this video are my own, independent of the LEGO group. Now, this is an 18+ display set, but that doesn't mean it's lacking on what some people may consider play features. They're really features that add to display, so I would call them display features. But what we have is that if you tilt this body forward, that third leg drops. I remember the original 2012 one had a lever that was kind of faulty where you would have to mess around with it to push the leg down. This way I like a lot better, where it's just one swift movement forward, and to push that leg back in its place, all you have to do is just make sure it's straight up, the whole model. It's not tilted forward to push it out, and you just push it like this and it rests in place. Again, pushing it forward, drops that third leg. But one feature that is done worse in this version compared to the 2012 version is with these little compartments right here. Now, by pushing these buttons at the back, which are pretty noticeable, I wish those were better disguised, but the same problem is present with the 2012 version, but to a worse extent, where they just have these two Technic connector pieces in gray awkwardly at the back. At least these have a white tip. But either way, by pushing them, opens up the compartments at the front. But the reason it was better with that 2012 version was that you didn't have to push these parts up and down with your fingers. It's just that extra part. In the original one, all you had to do was twist it and they would extend all the way forward. No extra pushing with your fingers. Anyways, with this version, we still have that computer interface part, which is this little dial right here. But in this version, we have a little extending arm. The 2012 version had a buzz saw. So either way, they're both accurate details. But pushing them back is another manual action where you have to push it in like that and then push the compartments back in. And once you push it back in, those buttons extend once again. So if you have it pushed out, those buttons actually blend much better at the back. But of course, speaking about the back, I like this version a lot better because the original 2012 version had a much blockier edge right here. This one is smoothed out just using these roof bricks and these sloped pieces. And that just looks so much better in my opinion. It looks a lot more modern in that regard. Same with the front, where we have, I gotta push those back in, a nice rounded edge just achieved by using these roof bricks and these sloped pieces. And with the front, there's another hidden detail where you could push these compartments open. And that's just another nice feature in this build. And those reveal the manipulator arms, which I think is done better in this version than the 2012 version, where you could kind of see the clip detailing in the 2012 version, but this uses one of those modified little 1x2s at the back there with a Technic pin connection. It's just done so well that if you close it, it's really hard to tell that those are even a compartment that you can open. With that middle section right underneath those parts, I like this signaler, the vent, and then that recharge coupling. Especially the recharge coupling, like that's one of my favorite parts of this build. I just love how they use that piece with the Technic pin receivers there, and then use an attachment with these cheese slopes and with that 1x1 circular tile in the middle. It's really well done. Also some more great details with the ports and the stabilizer to the side here. With these side legs, I like the intricate details with a lot of small pieces, whether it be this part at the top of the shaft, which is like spot on to the actual design on the real R2-D2, or the details with these 1x1 circular tiles just to give a little bit more greebling to the feet there. Overall, it comes together very well, and I like the use of different pieces in some different positions than I would expect. I also like how these little attachments to the legs are in this version. They store the fuel cells with the real R2-D2. In the original one, they're way too wide though, that they seem a bit obtrusive. In this one, they're only 2 bricks wide. I think the original was like 3 bricks wide. And you can see how they attach this wiring here. In the original 2012 one, it was brown wiring. I like the gold wiring here a lot better. I also like how they have this part clipped on at the front. Just looks smoother than that 2012 version. At the back, as I showed earlier, it's so smooth too with no extra attachments. Really nice round build at the top too. So with the movement of the legs on R2-D2, front movement depends on how you move that center part, where moving it forward will give more movement to those legs because they can move to the point where the mid leg is. So if you move it all the way forward, you can move those legs to that front right there, but it just kind of resets the position. For back movement though, you can move the legs back about this much when that front is facing forward. And of course, with this design, lifting the build from the center, the bottoms of the leg, I guess we could call them the feet, extend out just a bit. You can see it there, where they're connected with these Technic beams. And speaking of which, if you want to get a look at that compartment where the third leg fits in, there you go. And of course, pushing that back up, you can see when it just locks in place. Another thing to note, lifting this up, there's no wheel design, which I understand because if they put wheels there, there would have to be a way to kind of balance it. Maybe one day we'll get like a motorized R2-D2. That would be awesome. But it's not a big deal to me. What we have illustrated with the wheels can be these little Technic beam parts here if you want to imagine it that way. And looking at the center, you can see more of that extension design of the bottom of the legs, where if you have it standing, it's going to rest on that Technic beam. And then once you lift it up, that foot just slides a little bit more down. But anyways, I think that's about it for the body. I want to take a look at the head part, which is probably my favorite part of this whole build. Because look at this. Even if it's at the back here, you can rotate the head all the way around. That is awesome. Just resetting it. Oh my gosh. I love how smooth this rotation is, because sometimes you'll have a Lego set with a rotation feature like this and they'll be like, no, this is just so fun to spin around. But anyways, I'm having too much fun there. The radar eye at the front is a fantastic part usage where they use the unprinted shield piece. That's genius. And then we have a bumper piece right here for the processor. That works really well. And I like how much smoother this is to the 2012 version, where the 2012 version had a lot of these stud tops just as the round design. This one uses a lot of sloped pieces for the top head here, and it just looks a lot better in my opinion. Now at the back, there's some details, even these little Technic pins, which is an actual part of the back of R2-D2. You could even see it at the back of the minifigure there. And those are some nice part usage for existing Lego pieces. Another reverse bumper there. And there are two features that are hidden inside this head. For those features, you have to go to the top, which the top is smoothed off well with the dish piece right here. But anyways, one is at the front right here, where by pushing this part up, that compartment lifts up, and inside you have Luke's lightsaber. That's a really cool build that's to scale with the model from my understanding. So I like that a lot. I did not expect that to be so easy to open, and you can see the compartment where it hides there. There's no button or anything to access this, but it's so easy to just pop up that front build. And that compartment's very easy to just plop back on. And then at the back corner, there's another hidden compartment with this periscope right here. So you lift it up and just push it a little bit so that it's centered like this. And you can see that periscope just popping up at the back. And that looks nice when it's extended from R2-D2. I remember that from Empire Strikes Back in the Dagobah swamp. But anyways, pushing that back in. I think that's it for the build of this set. There is another build though, which is the little display stand. I almost forgot about it. For the stand, the part I really don't like is the use of a sticker there. Ugh, please don't put stickers in 18+ sets, especially for these display stands that are details that are pretty important. And I always misalign those freaking things, especially on this little plate right here. But a detail I love is this printed brick right here. Again, not a sticker for this design. I don't know why they didn't just print that display stand as well. And that looks great with the 50 years of Lucasfilm Ltd logo. Also, we get a little R2-D2 figure, which isn't anything new, but it's cute to have the little minifigure version of the character included in this set. And also with that stickered plate, It is connected via these little hinge connections, so if you want, you could even display it this way and get a little bit of movement there. But I think that is officially the builds of the set. Let's take a look at the packaging and the final verdict. This is a pretty long box design. Of course, using the 18+ designs that they started last year, where you have its own logo at the top that says R2-D2. As for the back, it shows a bunch of the different play features and some different shots of the set as well. Also, some shots from the movie. That's pretty darn cool. Being an 18+ set, the instructions have some interesting blurbs, whether it be a little note from the creative director of LEGO Star Wars, some introductions to the characters and some history here and there, some more shots from the films and some production shots and whatnot, and some different aspects of the character from the movie. You can even see some of the engineering and history behind the production of the character. And then at the very end, don't expect any advertisements or anything like that, since this is an 18+ set and it's supposed to stay on shelves for quite a bit. So they're not going to advertise like the 2021 summer sets or anything there. Very back just says LEGO Star Wars. So overall, I'm really happy with how this R2-D2 model turned out. As somebody who really wanted that 2012 model but never got it, the design of this one is a lot smoother. There's not as much of a blocky appearance, as they use some roof bricks and some sloped pieces to really get that realistic look of R2-D2. The model itself is excellent on display, but there's a lot of great features that improve over the original version. The original version didn't have all these features in the head. This version, while both do have that nice rotation feature, has that hidden compartment of the lightsaber and periscope. Those work really well. Now, the feature, the compartments with the arm in the middle right here and everything, I think that's done a little bit better in the function in the original version, but this one's a little bit better hidden in this version. Though I still think it's not super well hidden, where we have those obnoxious knobs at the back, where you can kind of see it sticking out when you don't have those compartments opened. I think these parts up top are better hidden, and I think the whole third leg feature where you just move the model forward, that center part, it works a lot smoother. With $200 as the price tag, I think that's a pretty darn good price for what's included. This is a very detailed, large model. And then the display stand included has a really nice piece I like, which is the printed brick, but then one part I don't like, which is that sticker design. I really wish they would just print those, especially since this is an 18+ set. Anyways, with all things considered, I rate this set a strong 8 out of 10. Love this as a large-scale model, love the function here, and I can't wait to display this on my shelf. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.